Hey, Marshmallows the fourth here. I just want to come to you guys today with a video talking about all the many reasons why I will probably never get with a black woman. And to start it off, the reasons why I'll probably never get with a black woman is because, just look at my unfortunate life situation. I'm 23 years old. I do not have a driver's license, nor do I have a vehicle, and I do not and never did have a job. So therefore, I have no money or income of my own to buy anything I need or want, or to go anywhere I would want or want to live. And I never lived in a big city, pretty much. I only ever did for the first 4 years of my life, which is nothing. And big cities, whether you want to accept it or not, are where most black people live. The vast majority of black people in this country of America live in and are raised in big cities, as well as born in them too. And black people just have this very strong, extreme attraction and connection to big cities. They just love big cities. They cannot get enough of the city life, the lights, the rush, all the sights and sounds, all the people, all the places, all the experiences, all the diversity. And most people, regardless of the race, do in fact live in big cities. But sadly, I never did. And that's why I don't know any black people myself in real life, outside of the internet, outside of this cyber world called the internet. I've never known any black people. I've never had any black friends or made friends with any black people, whether black men or women or both, since I would want to be friends with both, not just one or the other. And I never got to interact with black people, experience them, and just get to know them on a really deep and personal level, and vice versa, them to me. And I don't know black people on the level that I have known white people, since the only town I have ever lived in, and that is a town, not a city. It is called a city, but it's more so a town because it's small. And it's called Greenville, Michigan. And now, currently, I live 15 miles away from Greenville. 15 miles. And I would never want to live in that town, nor would I even want to work in such a place, because I hate that fucking town. Because it's the town which caused me to suffer so greatly and just go through hell emotionally and mentally because of the godforsaken, terrible high school that I went to while living there from 15 to 22. And even though I didn't stay all 4 years, and hell, I didn't even graduate 9th grade, but I did stay long enough to caused me to suffer and caused me to just go through and experience such extreme levels and amounts of agony emotionally and mentally. Not that any of you pussies would even care, because you had it so great and wonderful yourselves, as it seems like, since you don't complain about your lives. You're not fucking whining on the internet about your lives, so clearly and obviously, either you're very strong emotionally and mentally and don't let anything faze you, or hardly anything faze you for that matter, or you didn't suffer at all. You didn't suffer for shit. Which wouldn't surprise me, because most of you cocksuckers were born and raised in the big cities. And for that, I hate you to death. And I hate most people, if I'm going to be totally and completely honest. I don't know all people in the world. I don't even know most people. But I do hate most people to death. I don't hate all people. But I sure as hell, and most definitely do, hate most people in this world. Because I can clearly see and tell most people in this world have had it way better than me, way easier than me, way more privileges, way more opportunities, way more things going for them in their lives personally, and just way more to look forward to in their lives compared to mine. I don't have that much of a longing and desire to keep living or to go on living in my life. I wouldn't mind it at all, one damn bit, if I died. Either of a broken heart, but like that would ever happen. And even if it did, I probably wouldn't die by something like that until I'm in like my fucking 50s or some shit like that. And I mean, I could die in my sleep, which I personally think would be the best and least pain, like less or whatever way to die. I think it would be just a great way to die in your sleep, since when you're asleep, it's kind of similar to being dead. And I mean, if you were to die in your sleep, I mean, you wouldn't even know. It would just happen and you'd be dead. And I mean, if there would be any way that I could die, I would definitely choose to die in my sleep if I had the choice to kind of like choose the way I'll die. But of course I can't, and I don't know if I'll die, and I don't know when I'll die. So of course I can't really say that, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't mind it to happen, because I hate my life and I hate myself just as much as I hate most people. There are some people I do love, though. There are definitely some people I really do care about and respect. But most people, sadly, I do not. And most people I really do envy and am very jealous of. And, you know, I never got to know any black people. So if I were to try to even get with a black woman, let's just say I even tried to, for an example, I don't think it would go too well or smoothly because, well, for one, I have no confidence or self-esteem, especially when it comes to the kinds and types of women that I am attracted to, which are, of course, and obviously, hot, cute women. Those are the ones that I lust after, that I have crushes on, that I really like strongly, and would love nothing more than to be able to get with, or even at least have a chance at getting with. And, you know, the thing about black women, though, they love hood guys, and I'm the farthest thing from being hood myself, because I was never raised in the hood, or any hood for that matter, anywhere in this country of America. And they love guys who are confident, and they also love guys who have self-esteem, of course, and who are outgoing, who have lots of friends, who are popular, who are fit or ripped or whatever, and tall. And guys who are just like good looking, like really handsome and attractive, which I also am the farthest thing from. I'm short, but you know what? I don't mind being short. If I'm going to be totally and completely honest here, I don't cry myself to sleep at night for being short. I don't mind being short. I am absolutely 100% content with being short, with only being 5'6" or 5'7" or whatever height-wise, maybe 5'8" at the most. And I'm also fat. I mean, I'm not obese, and I'm definitely the farthest thing from being obese, but I am fat. I do have a belly, and I mean, I'm even fat all over, as a matter of fact. Like, I'm chubby in the face, I have boobs, I have a belly, I have flabby arms, flabby legs, and all that. And you know, most women, regardless of their race, are not fond of guys who are fat. They're not attracted to guys who are fat. But you know what? I don't mind being fat. Myself personally, I have absolutely no problem with being fat. And honestly, I don't see what the big fucking problem, I don't see what the big fucking deal is, or the big hype behind guys who work out, guys who get in shape. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you're going to die. You're going to get old. You're going to get wrinkly. And you're going to get gross and disgusting. And you're going to smell bad. Especially when you're old. No old people smell good. And all old people get wrinkly eventually. Whether that takes them until their 80s or 90s. Or if they're lucky and live to be in their hundreds. They will get smelly, they will get disgusting, because they're slowly decaying and rotting from the inside out. And eventually, you won't be able to work out and get in shape and to keep that going. Because when you're too old, you'll be too weak and fragile and delicate to even be able to work out. And I don't think any man should ever have to work out for a bitch, because that is such a simp thing to do, because it shows you as a man that you're pretty much submitting as a man yourself to a woman's wishes or a woman's expectations and demands of you as a man. Like, if you don't work out, then I'm not even gonna fuck with you or whatever. And, you know, it's funny that many women who even don't work out expect and demand, if they're going to get with a man, that he works out. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? A woman who doesn't work out, probably a day in her life, but is not like obese or anything, and eats healthy and eats right, and maybe is just like thick or whatever, expects a man to work out for her, to like please her and pleasure her, but that girl doesn't work out herself. That is a load of bullshit. Like, I would never do something like that for a girl. I would never work out for any girl, as a matter of fact. I just think it's crazy, just these ridiculous expectations and demands that so many women have of men. It's just unbelievable. I mean, men and their expectations of women are so basic and just so like just common and not that extreme and out there. Like, men don't mind short women, men don't mind fat women, men don't mind women who are shy. They don't. Also, another thing men don't mind, women who are virgins. Men love women who are virgins. I mean, literally, when a man ever finds out a woman is a virgin, it's like a trophy to him. It's like a prize to him. to find a woman who's a virgin is like one of the best things to a man. But to a woman, a guy who's a virgin is such a turnoff and so disgusting and is like such a freak or whatever. But a girl who's a virgin is like a prized possession or something to a man, to any men, as a matter of fact. I mean, women who are virgins aren't that way to me personally, but of course I would love to have and find a woman who's a virgin because, well, I'm a virgin myself. So it only makes sense that I would also want to get with someone who would be a virgin like me and who would also share similar interests and hobbies that I do myself. And you know, I'm not black women material. Like, I'm not the typical kind and type of guy that black women would just want and crave and throw themselves at. I'm a loser. I'm a freak. I'm a failure. And, you know, my life means nothing to me. At all. Like, I really don't even care about myself that much. And I certainly do not love myself. Which is, of course, another turnoff. But you know what's also a turnoff to women of any race? The guy who's negative. And I'm extremely, severely, incredibly negative. Probably the most negative guy in the world, honestly. Or at least one of the many. And I also have a dark mind. A really, really dark mind. And I would never want to put that on a woman. And if I were to get with a woman, I mean, I would hope that she'd probably be like me, pretty much. But the female version of me. A girl who's really negative. A girl who's really dark. A girl who's really brokenhearted and damaged and crushed. A girl who's a virgin. A girl who has never had a job, never had money, still lives with her parents. Still very dependent and needy on them. And a girl who has never had real friends. And a girl who's just as much of a lowlife as I am myself. Because then at least we could relate to each other and connect with each other and understand each other and care for each other and love each other because we'd be the same. I mean, but it would take a miracle, I feel, to find a woman who would be like exactly the same as me. I mean, it would be a miracle if I found any men exactly like me. I mean, honestly, that would just be crazy if I were to find either in real life or online men, even just one man who's exactly like me. I mean, that would just blow my mind because I know most aren't. And it would be so hard for me to find any women like me or men like me in real life or online. But, I mean, then again, online it would probably be easier because I'm pouring out my heart and soul in all of my videos on my channel. And in real life, it would be so much more weird and strange and bizarre for me to just start ranting out in public to people or pouring out my heart and soul to people when I'm just out and about in public. But it's not like I really ever get that chance anyway. I hardly ever go outside and go into the world because I never lived in a big city. I never had real friends. I never felt accepted. I never felt like I could like truly relate and connect with anybody that I ever went to school with, even since like elementary school. And I'm so very different and just unique compared to most people, but most of all different. And because of how different I am than most people, I'm so distant and so divided, so separated and segregated, so like disconnected and set apart from most people because of how different I am, because of my beliefs about certain things, because about my opinions, because of my interests in things I like, things I crave, things I wish to have, or whatever, just make me very different than most people. And, you know, I never got to know black people on the level or to the extent that I have got to know white people, because I've never gone to school with any black people. I've never had a job, and even if I did, there would probably be no black people, because the only town that I really ever lived in was Greenville. And Grand Rapids I did live in, but only for the first 4 years of my life, which is obviously nothing. And, you know, white people pretty much were the only race of people I ever got to know on just a really, like, not even a really deep and personal level. Like, I didn't even get to know, like, any white people on like a very deep and personal philosophical like level and have them pour out their heart to me. And I didn't really pour out my heart to any of my old friends anyway. And I rarely ever told people about personal things about myself, because I just knew deep down inside how the fuck that they would react. And, you know, I love people who are real. I love people who are open and honest and straightforward, and also don't sugarcoat things. Because there's not that many people in this world like that. There's so many fake people going throughout life wearing a fucking mask and pretending to be either someone or something that they are not. And that just bugs me, of the amount of fake people in this world, when there's hardly any real people at all. Any open and honest, straightforward, just very blunt people who just keep it 100 all the fucking time. And people who don't sugarcoat things. And I'm one of the rare ones who are like that. And I'm a voice for people like me who don't have one, or who want to say something or talk or pour out their heart, but they just don't know how, and they don't know where to start. And I'm a voice for those people. And I'm glad that I am. It does make me happy, and it does give me a smidgen amount of pride that I'm a voice for the people who don't have one, who are in the shadows, who are in the darkness. And, you know, what drives me crazy is also the fact that so many of you strongly believe and think this to be true, that I'm happy and prideful and proud that at the age of 23 years old, I still live with my parents. I'm still completely dependent on them and needy on them, and that I don't have a driver's license, don't have a vehicle, don't have a job, and don't have my own money and income of my own. And you think that, so many of you now, not all of you, but many of you think that I actually am happy about that and get some sort of kick out of it, and am like prideful and proud of that. Because as an adult, I still got to live with my parents and be so dependent on them as I have been since the age of 18. Way back in 2015. And that's not true. That is just a flat out bullshit lie. Because I feel like dog shit. The fact that at the age of 23, I still live with my parents and don't have my own fucking place as much as I would love to. And it also makes me feel like shit and just crushes me so much emotionally and mentally. And probably the most painful thing, I always have to be constantly reminded of that I don't have a job, and that I never did, and that I don't have my own money and income to buy whatever I want or need. Like, that is like the ultimate painful thing inside of me that I am constantly reminded of. Every day I wake up in the morning, I'm just such a damaged, hurt person. And I'm also hurt that I never had that much of a community of people, that I never had any real friends, that I never had a girlfriend, that I never had gaming consoles and video games when I was growing up as a kid, like most fucking people did, regardless of their race. I'm sad that I never had a gaming PC in my teens like most fucking people did, that I hate so much and am extremely jealous and envious of, like crazy. And it drives me insane. It drives me insane. And I'm hurt to the core that I never took driver's training in my teens, never got a license, never got a vehicle, because obviously I wouldn't have been able to afford one of my own, and I didn't have it where my parents could have easily bought me one like you fucking cocksuckers. And I'm sad that I never got to really experience any amount of diversity of any school I ever went to since kindergarten, and I never even had as much of a chance to get with a black woman, because I've never really known any black people in my entire life, in the 23 years so far that I've been alive. I've just never got to know or make friends with or interact with black people anywhere of any kind. I'm sad about it. And I am sad that I never had as many opportunities and privileges as all you black people have, and any of you other races of people that were lucky, blessed, fortunate, and privileged enough of being born and raised in some big, glorious, wonderful city with endless amounts of job opportunities and large communities of people and get-togethers and all that. And you know, anyone raised in a big city has the convenience of everything being close together. Their job being close, their school being close, their friends being close. If their family lives in the same city, their family being close. Parks being close. And just anything. Zoos being close. Like all within walking distance. And grocery stores within walking distance, a movie rental store, whatever, within walking distance. I mean, they just have so many conveniences, so many blessings, so many fortunate things that they have compared to me. And it really enrages me that so many of you actually expect me to walk 15 miles to get a dumbass job when you never had to do that yourself. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section below. I'm out.